Well, Kobbie Mainoo, Man United exit hint. This time things are serious. Conditions have been set. Looks like Kobbie Mainoo has something that is obviously gonna show him the exit out of the club of Manchester United. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. So guys, continue and subscribe to this channel, and then the rest will be history into the making. So we are here to bring you what we think about this beautiful club of Manchester United, and to eat that on Thursday went ahead to obviously draw away 1-1 with Real Sociedad in a game of football that obviously gonna be welcomed at Old Trafford next Thursday. To eat that whoever wins goes through, and I tell you, United really has an upper hand to obviously knock out the side of Real Sociedad amidst a player known as Zubimendi expected to return because he was out of this game because of him being ill. But Man United, I think, will get the job done and dusted. Wheatley is one of those that has gone ahead, obviously, commit to the club of Manchester United, as players like Kobbie Mainoo obviously want to leave the club of Manchester United. How many likes on this video? 100 likes on this video. Now, The Guardian have come out with a very big story about Kobbie Mainoo, that Mainoo is planning to reject the offer of a new contract at Man United and seek a move abroad. United will be open to selling Mainoo, who is valued about £70 million, but still believe he could agree to improve terms. Mainoo's representatives want a salary that reflects his role in the team. Man United believe he could still accept an offer even though no agreement has been reached after lengthy negotiations. Now, it is really very absurd that the club of Manchester United can't keep players of quality, and you can't tell me that if a player wants £150,000 a week, that is Kobbie Mainoo, you are gonna let him go because you cannot obviously offer him that amount of money. Because look at players that are in his age bracket. Mainoo, I think, is now 19, and if there is anyone who believes that he's not worth that amount of money, then football is not meant for him. Worldwide, players like the Gavis, the Pedris, you understand? The Pedris, the Gavis, look at Lamine Yamal. They are really being paid handsomely at their clubs, and their clubs are obviously working hard to see that at least they give them contracts worth £200,000 a week. And for Kobbie Mainoo, he knows to it that teams are really willing to offer him that amount of money. That's why he's hesitant, and he's like, if you can't get me that amount of money, I'm not obviously going to put pen to paper. And what is his contract situation? His contract situation is the contract is expiring in 2027, but he has a further option of 1 year. And I think if they cannot really find him earning that amount of money, then the player will be like, okay, sell me. And that is really very bad, because United's DNA is all about these youngsters like Kobbie Mainoo. If you let a player like Kobbie Mainoo go for £70 million, it will be a message out there, all sent outside here to the public, that we can no longer keep our youngsters. I've always gonna hit reiterate this, that even players like Scott McTominay, whose talent was really bang average, and most of us really had issues with him, found themselves in a position of really staying at Manchester United ever since they made his debut with Jose Mourinho in 2016, and he left last summer. You understand? Meaning that he has been here for 8 seasons. And for Kobbie Mainoo, this is his first full season for the club of Manchester United, because his debut season was last season, and he made his serious debut or opening debut season in November in the Premier League. I think we're playing again Everton, beat Everton by 3 goals to 0. That is Kobbie Mainoo for you. So for a quality of Kobbie Mainoo, who teams like Man City who are fighting to obviously sign at the age of 17, 18, it shows you that very many teams obviously want to have him and will be here regretting that we've let this player go. And Man United have been given an excuse of really collecting money for a homegrown player who is obviously going to serve as a pure profit into their summer transfer window, because they now have an excuse that we don't want to spend £150,000 on a player like Kobbie Mainoo. But remember, tomorrow Sunday, there are demonstrations at Old Trafford before we obviously take on the club of Arsenal. Fans of United are obviously going to demonstrate, and in the due course of them demonstrating, it will obviously send shockwaves to the board, and they'll look through what they have to do. First and foremost, they have to keep these youngsters, because there is no guarantee that if at all you sell Rashford for £40 million, Kobbie Mainoo for £70 million, and you get in £110 million, pure profit of money, you're obviously going to spend that amount of money on players. And even if you spend it all on players, do you expect those players to hit the ground running? That is the huge question. That is the most huge question, because you will sell Kobbie Mainoo, he'll go to another team and flourish, like we're seeing Anthony and Marcus Rashford, and all will be coming back to you. So I think they need to think twice before they obviously think of selling Kobbie Mainoo. And for them, they are looking at the £70 million price that has been put on his head as a player of Manchester United. But it might cause them more and more problems. That is it. So United is willing to sell him for £70 million. All right. It will be some good amount of money for them, but it shows you another weakness into Ineos and the Glazers, that this club cannot obviously facilitate its transfers. We need to rely on selling these youngsters like Kobbie Mainoo to see to it that we thrive into the market. That is really very, very bad if you're a fan of Manchester United, and us having no chances to play into the Champions League or Europe this season because we've been knocked out of the FA Cup. Then UEFA Europa League, we don't know whether you can obviously win it. That obviously aids this exit of Kobbie Mainoo, and they will be looking in for money elsewhere to see that obviously facilitate the transfer window in there. So we are waiting to see how things are really going to be panning out for the club of Manchester United, but I think this is one of the lame excuses they will give to let this player go, because if you are ready to move on Casemiro, Eriksen, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, John Evans, the likes of Mason Mount, you're ready to move on close to 7 players, and when you add those salaries of those players, it might add up to close to £1 million. Now, where do you find a loss of really getting £150,000, from that £1 million saved from letting those players go to adding it up to Kobbie Mainoo and obviously keep him? You understand? It's all about saying we've gone ahead to let Eriksen go. Now Kobbie Mainoo is in here. Let us get the salary that we've been paying to Eriksen to Kobbie Mainoo, meaning that you are saving the amount of money that you've been paying Kobbie Mainoo, period. You understand? So I think that serves a better purpose in here. And obviously, the representatives of Kobbie Mainoo want their client to be paid the amount of money that obviously reflects his role in the team. Obviously, Kobbie Mainoo is a very integral player to the club of Manchester United, and I know it took Amorim some time to integrate him in the team, but he later found him a position to play, though he found himself injured in a game that we played. I think it was in the Premier League. So this guy and his relatives are really good, and they note it that they need to send a message to this board and see what their reaction is going to be. They want to know, is Kobbie Mainoo still one of those players that is really very integral into the club of Manchester United? Because if you're not integral, then they'll obviously let you go. And they're like, we are clocking 20 years of age. We don't want to waste time at a club that is showing no progress. And by the way, these players like Kobbie Mainoo will obviously have a chance to leave, because if Barcelona comes knocking at their door, they're into the Champions League, they are playing into the La Liga, and they're trying to win the La Liga. The player will be like, why start the club of Manchester United? Let me go to this side that is obviously showing huge signs of obviously winning everything that is at their display. So I think we should really revise that. This is the true definition of Manchester United, and the boys bring out what the club of United is all about. The Guardian also added and said, a move to another Premier League club is not in Kobbie Mainoo's plans, despite interest from Chelsea. So Kobbie Mainoo doesn't want to play in the Premier League. And I told you, the suitors might be Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Real Madrid. And when those clubs knock at the door, they come with a lot of money. They can even offer him £200,000 a week. You understand? So that is exactly what is happening at Manchester United for Kobbie Mainoo. But I understand that a compromise will be reached, and this player will obviously find himself doing the needful. Now, Ethan Wheatley, one of those players that Erik ten Hag gave their senior debut at the club of Manchester United, has come up and obviously put in a very huge shift. And he has committed his future at Manchester United for more 4 years and a further option year. He's 19 years of age. He was playing at Wheatley. That's where he is. He has played 3 games, 0 goals and 0 assists. And he has obviously put pen to paper to stay at the club of Manchester United. And I worry a little bit for these youngsters who are really putting pen to paper to obviously keep themselves at the club of Manchester United, because I think there is a hidden agenda for Ineos to obviously extend contracts of all the youngsters from the academy that they can sell and obviously get in some money. They could go the Barcelona way like they did last season. The Guius, Abdi, they sold very many youngsters. Now, if they can get like £6 million from Ethan Wheatley, and they obviously have a buyback clause and sell-on clause, they'll use that. Will be really a safe zone for them, because they'll obviously get in £6 million as money for a player, and that will be a very huge profit, because that is pure profit. And if at all they can do it on like 6-7 players, they can obviously get close to £50 million. And I think that's the plan of Ineos. That's why they're obviously trying to extend contracts of these youngsters, especially those that are 19 and 20 years of age, because they know to it that these players will obviously want to live on a free and see to it that all goes on to how they want it. But after putting pen to paper, he took to his Instagram and obviously jotted the following message: that amazing feeling to have signed a new deal with this great club. Another proud moment for me and my family. That is Ethan Wheatley. So he's yet to prove himself that he can obviously do the needful, because the likes of Chido Obi Martin have gone ahead to coming through, and they've shown that they are really good to go, and they've gone ahead to put in a very good shift. So it's up to him to obviously perform well where he is and send a message to Manchester United that, please, I'm one of the strikers that should obviously consider. But signing a 4-year deal plus a further option year means that United can really see him play for 1 more year and assess him. If he's good to go, they'll obviously keep him. If he's not good to go, they'll obviously let him go. So your thoughts on United ready to sell Kobbie Mainoo this summer are welcome into the comment section below. And what do you think about Ethan Wheatley? Obviously, renewing his contract at Manchester United. We out. Good morning. Happy Women's Day.